Did you know that having fewer friends could actually make you smarter, happier, and more resilient? Most people assume solitude is lonely, but psychology says something very different. Think about it. Your phone buzzes with yet another group invite, and instead of excitement, you feel drained. Maybe you'd rather reorganize your bookshelf or dive into a podcast, anything but another awkward brunch. And psychology explains why this might be your secret superpower. Here's the first surprising insight. Loneliness and chosen solitude are not the same thing. Loneliness is that painful feeling when your social needs aren't met. Chosen solitude, on the other hand, is when you spend time alone and feel completely content. You could live a mostly solitary life and feel fulfilled, while someone else can be surrounded by dozens of people every weekend and still feel empty inside. It's not about the number of friends, it's about whether your connections actually meet your emotional needs. Think about someone with 3 close friends they've had since college versus another person with hundreds of Instagram followers who still feels disconnected. Research, like the UCLA Loneliness Scale, measures feelings of isolation and social support, and it shows something fascinating. 2 people can have the same number of friends but completely different experiences. What really matters is feeling seen, understood, and valued. That's the real measure of connection. So why do some people thrive with fewer friends? It's not avoidance, they seek depth. Studies show that people comfortable with solitude often have strong emotional self-regulation, high self-awareness, and intrinsic motivation. They do things because they matter to them, not to impress anyone else. They can sit with their own thoughts without panic, like finishing a puzzle without needing anyone else's help. And that ability builds resilience, reflection, and deeper relationships. Here's another twist. Solitude boosts creativity. When your brain isn't constantly processing social cues, it enters what psychologists call divergent thinking mode. This is when you can make unusual connections, solve problems creatively, and explore new ideas without group pressure. Think of your brain like a garden. Fewer footfalls, more room to grow. Fewer friends don't limit inspiration, they create space for it. Of course, solitude isn't without risks. Chronic perceived isolation, feeling alone even when people are around, can hurt attention, cognition, and long-term health. But people who thrive alone know the difference between temporary alone-time discomfort and true loneliness. They have clear self-concept, strong internal compasses, and the emotional intelligence to invest in the relationships that actually matter, rather than scattering energy everywhere. Here's the truth. Social needs aren't one-size-fits-all. Some people need daily interaction to feel alive. Others need 1 or 2 deep connections and lots of alone time. Neither is wrong, neither is better. What matters is alignment. Does your social life match what you actually need, or are you forcing yourself into a mold that leaves you drained? Understanding this distinction is liberating. It validates people who feel out of step with the cultural push to always be social. So if you've ever wondered why you have fewer friends or why you enjoy your own company more than crowded gatherings, know this: you're not broken. You're operating in a social and psychological style that's just different, and in many ways, it's a strength. People with small circles often enjoy richer internal lives, stronger emotional resilience, and more meaningful relationships. Choosing quiet over crowd isn't a failure, it's a way to live fully on your own terms.